Well, Happy New Year 2025. It is currently the 2nd of January. I was out of town between Boxing Day and the New Year's, like I said I would be. I got back on January 1st, so yesterday I started Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because January 1st is always when I start, like, the next Assassin's Creed playthrough, at the beginning of each new year. I wonder why it's defaulting to here. I thought it used to default to here. I don't know. Back to this thing, Bob here. So, today, I started streaming Helldivers 2, which I've never played before, because it ended up being gifted out by family to play along together with family at some point. So that game's already been out for almost a year now. So I'm a little bit late to the party on that one, kind of like I was late to the party in terms of starting Final Fantasy 16 here. And I played it for 4.5 hours, and it was definitely fun. Quite a bit of mayhem and chaos. Definitely a decent bit of silliness along the way as well. Don't know how often I'd be streaming that. I'd probably just be playing it like from time to time with family or something like that. Don't know if I'd be streaming that or just be doing it on my own time. I just wanted to do a stream just to learn how the heck the game works. But as that was going on for a while, one, my left hand was getting pretty sore, especially my pinky finger from using shift, because while I could have played it with controller, I wanted to play it with mouse and keyboard. I knew I'd be a whole lot more accurate if I actually learned how to play it using a mouse. But I was definitely starting to feel it a little bit, Mr. Krabs. So there was that. And then for our thing to switch to, I was like, all right, well, what are my options here? I don't want to do AC Valhalla again because I was just doing that yesterday. It might be a hot second before I continue with Persona 3 Reload, because I have a great grind to do in that, so I'll just be back doing that whenever I'm back doing that, essentially. No real rush. And I think the uploads on that series, with how on top of things I was with that series, and how ham I went with the DLC shortly after being the main game, what are uploads of that already queued up to? Let's see here. If I go to YouTube Studio, March 13th. I could not do a single stream of Persona 3 Reload until March 13th, and still not miss a day of the daily upload schedule currently. Like, I missed some during the main game playthrough for a long time because of how busy I was throughout the year. But point is, I'm in no rush. I may as well do my great grind, get my final builds made. I'll be back to doing that whenever I'm doing that. So you could say that that's a playthrough that's kind of on hold right now in that sense. So that's what's going on with that. So my two big options were essentially this or Mario and Luigi Brothership. And I feel like Mario and Luigi Brothership might be better as like a standalone stream because I'm so close to the end now that it might just be the final push. It's about 11 p.m. right now. It's just before 11 p.m. And if this DLC is only a few hours long, then I easily have time to finish it tonight. So it's like, okay, if I start playing Mario and Luigi Brothership, then I'd feel like I'm always so close to the end, and then I just keep going, and then I'm not going to go to bed until like 5 or 6 in the morning because it's going to keep on taking longer than usual. So I better do that when it's at the start of some stream, just in case of a situation like that. Whereas this is more an appropriate second half of an already in progress stream. So that's why I switched over to this. I could also do some Planet Coaster at some point, but after all the stuff with like the mouse and keyboard, I kind of want to take a break, just kick back, use a controller. I'm sure I could probably play Planet Coaster with controller, since apparently a lot of the UI in that game is designed for that in mind, since it's out on like consoles and stuff like that too. But I just cannot imagine playing a game like that with anything but mouse and keyboard. So, and that's not exactly an active playthrough, that's just kind of thing that I hop into from time to time. And then there's Super Mario Party Jamboree, which I'll play when I have opportunity to play with other people, so it's not really an active playthrough per se. So really my two choices were this or Mario and Luigi Brothership. So that's my reason for being here. So that's why we're here to do some Final Fantasy 16 and do the first DLC story. At the end of this stream in a stream, or like the second half of this stream in a stream, you could say, I did make a little bit of progress since last time. I've assigned Thunderstorm now, and I'll play around with that a little bit. I haven't gotten too much of a chance to play around with it. I did make a little bit of progress while I was out of town, like I said that I might. I took my capture card out with me, and I was spending most of my time while I was out of town if I was going to be working on something on my laptop, typically video editing rather than playing a game. But I did have one night where I was like, you know, I just want to take a step away from all this video editing. I managed to finish off my Xenoblade Chronicles 3 video essay, so that's out now. And I got that published. And there was one night that I was like, you know, I just want to take a little bit of a break from all that editing stuff and just play a little bit of a video game. So I had my PlayStation 5 plugged in like under my desk side table, an HDMI cable that ran towards my laptop, which ran into my capture card, and then my capture card went through like my teeny tiny USB-C cable. It's only about yay long that I just bring to like events like Fragapalooza and Mega FPS events and stuff like that when I need a basic cable that doesn't require me to rip up the one that's literally going through the inside of my desk to get to my computer. I like leaving that there. And I just played Final Fantasy 16. So there's another 0.5 part. There was a 0.5 part with Megaland where it's like, hey, here's the audio only of the stuff that's gone. And now there's another 0.5 part of all the side questing that I did, which has audio. That's all working, but I was not commentating it because I was laying in bed with my laptop on my lap, just kicking back, taking it easy, enjoying life. Things were really nice and chill. I bumped my capture card once and it came a little bit loose and I lost my video and I was like, oh crap, and I had to plug my capture card back in. So it was a little bit of a cursed setup and definitely not how Final Fantasy 16 was intended to be played. But that's what I did, and I made a couple hours of progress. I just went around doing side questing. It's not like I'm gonna do story content when I'm not here to be commentating over it. Just generic side stuff. So that's there as a 0.5 part. I mean, what was the... I haven't actually done any work on that 0.5 part yet. So what was the actual last full number part? It was part 93. So part 93.5, which maybe it'll be public, maybe it'll be unlisted, so you can only find it in the playlist. I don't know. I'll figure that out sometime later, and this would be part 94 right now. So yeah, there's another 0.5 part. That's 2 of them in this series of bonus content, you could say. And by going around doing more of the side quests, one thing that I definitely did notice is a lot of the side quests do tie in a lot to the world building. I feel like a lot of games' quests are just like super generic, boring stuff that really isn't going to engage you all that much. But with this game, it's tied into the world building and helps you understand, the world a bit better. That's what world building is, so I don't know why I said that, but sometimes my brain malfunctions. This is what happens when I just stream and go for it without having like any script like my video essays or something like that. So I went and I did a side quest chain at Martha's Rest where there were all these Akashic that were coming in and we had to like defend the place and things were just gonna keep on getting worse. We also helped out the guy that was Blackthorn's old friend in Blacksmith's Blues, old frenemy there, where was that on stream or was that on my own time? I don't remember, but we defended that place either on stream or off stream, I don't remember. And the other main thing that I did was in the deserty place. I forget where that is right now. But the, over here, I think. I don't know. The deserty place where we were helping the guy whose name I forget because the side characters' names I'm not gonna remember in this. And there was a side quest chain where it turned out that he was a bear. So now none of the townspeople wanted to believe him when he said that the Akashic were coming. The Akashic were coming. And then it was a whole side quest chain about figuring out, hey, if he's a bear, that's okay. Look at all this good he's done here. Are you really gonna, like, completely condemn him just for that? And kind of making things up there and all that. So that's what that side quest chain was about. So there's actually some really cool side quests in this game. I do feel like a lot of the side quest dialogue kind of drags on and on a little while. Like the dialogue is very slow, natural speaking, and conversations go on for a while. And when we were dealing with like the basic animation preset cutscenes, I will admit I could find myself getting a little bit bored at times and being like, well, this is going on. Oh, let's pick up my phone next to my computer here. Let's have a look at my email. Do I have any new emails here? Or, oh, maybe there's some new memes online that I can save to my folder for going live notifications and all that. And yeah, so there'll be times that I'd just be like on my phone. But it was also kind of nice to just like chill out and play the game without doing any commentary and just like sitting down and just genuinely enjoying a game on my own time. So there was that. So it was off camera, but not. It was on camera. You can see it, just not with commentary. And it's not important to the playthrough. There's nothing that's like essential to the story. So I do have a few more ability points now. Not enough to be able to get all the way to this. I'm going to need to have like 10k total plus like the stuff that I get refunding this if I want to get that on that one slot. So didn't quite get enough to get anything like super OP there yet or anything. But that's what's going on and that's why my progress is a little bit farther compared to last time. And the last time that I played, when was that then? So that was the 29th of December, and I wrapped it up at 2:14 in the morning, is what it was. So, yeah, I was gaming a decent bit late, and then eventually I was like, I'm getting tired, closed my laptop, put it to the side, and I went to sleep, and had sweet dreams of Final Fantasy 16. Before we start the DLC, another thing worth noting when it comes to Final Fantasy on this channel, is I actually got in some games in the mail today that I ordered on Boxing Day sale a little while ago, so took a little while for them to come out. I got in my shipment of Boxing Day sale games, and was still waiting for my shipment of holiday sale games because Video Games Plus, where I ordered these from, had different things on sale across their Boxing Day sale and holiday sale, so there was that. So I did end up getting Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PS5 Remake Integrate. That's gonna really confuse my camera when I hold that up. I got 7 Reunion Crisis Core, and I didn't get Rebirth because it's new enough that it's not exactly super cheap yet. And I was looking around for Boxing Day sales for things like 7 Remake, thinking that I should pick it up, and of course I should pick up the PS5 version rather than the PS4 version. And it was actually kind of hard to find. Most sellers didn't have it. Most sellers didn't have, like, any copies anymore, and I thought, oh, maybe I waited too long to pick up a copy of that game, because now it's genuinely hard to find. But luckily, Video Games Plus had a copy, and I was able to get one for, like, a good price, so it's like, okay, let's pay more attention when it comes to Rebirth, because it's not like I'm gonna be playing that anytime soon. But keep an eye out, not wait as long. I'd probably be playing it before this long of a span anyway. But yeah, I gotta not wait so long that people don't really have copies anymore. That's what I found with Paper Mario the Origami King. On holiday sales, I was trying to see if I could find a copy of Paper Mario the Origami King across so many different sellers online, because I eventually plan on getting to that on the channel as I go through all the Mario RPGs. And I could not find a copy of Paper Mario the Origami King, like, anywhere, was the case. So, yeah, I gotta not wait too long here. And I picked up Last of Us Part 1 for PS5 because I played the PC version when it came out, and oh my god, it was so bad. It was darn near unplayable. That's gotta be, like, one of the worst PC ports I've seen in my life. It was darn near unplayable at times, especially towards the end. Like, holy crap. It was really funny in how broken it was, but it was really hard and crazy and bugging out all the time, which I hear isn't a problem with PlayStation, so I figure, like, hey, I may as well get this for a good price, and then if I ever want to, like, replay The Last of Us one day, that's the version I'll play, the version that actually works. So I still have my plan of when I'm through with Final Fantasy 16, the next Final Fantasy game that I'd play would be 7 Original, and then I could play 7 Crisis Core, the remake version, rather than, like, the original Crisis Core. I don't think it's super important to play the original Crisis Core, as far as I'm aware. It's not like I know the stories of these. And then I can play 7 Remake, and then play Rebirth, like, at some point when I see it on a good price, no real rush. I'm not exactly in a rush to get through these either. It's 2025 now, and I would like to start at least Final Fantasy VII sometime this year. Start that as the next Final Fantasy playthrough around here. But in terms of, like, when I'd play 7 Crisis Core Reunion, whatever the hell thing it's called, it'd just be whenever I feel like it and when I have space in my game schedule. I'm not in a rush here. It's probably going to be several years before the next title comes out. That I would like to play on launch, but I've probably got several years, so I don't think I'm in a rush here. If I recall when I looked it up, I think that 7 Remake, like the first game, was 2020, and then Rebirth was last year, 2024. So a 4-year gap. If it's gonna be another 4-year gap, that means I could expect, like, the third of the Final Fantasy VII Remake games in 2028. That gives me time. That very much gives me time. So I'm in no real rush. But I would like to start 7 this year. So that is the update on the Final Fantasy situation on this channel. Where I'm at in this playthrough, where I'm at when it comes to plans for future playthroughs, the updates on that. And why I'm here streaming this tonight at 11:09 p.m. on the 2nd of January here. So, that's all the things that I wanted to say. Let's go ahead and check out Echoes of the Fallen. There's probably only 3 streams left, including this one. One for Echoes of the Fallen, one for Rising Tide, I forgot the name of it for a second, and then one for, like, Final Approach and Final Boss. So I'm almost there. I am almost through this game. And then when I have space in my schedule, I might consider starting 7. Probably get through some other things around here first. I was originally intending to get through this before the new year, but oh well. A little bit more of a task to get through the stuff that I wanted to get through than I thought it would be, but that's a-okay. I'll get it done in no time at all. Listen to Karen's concerns, Echoes of the Fallen. Let's do it.
Go on. It's probably quicker if I just show you. Here.
Some sort of crystal. Though, I don't remember seeing one that color before.
I might have to turn up the game volume here.
That makes two of us.
To like here.
In all my long years of trading, both over and under the counter, I've never seen anything quite like it. They're calling them dusk crystals, on account of colour.
I see. And they can be used to cast magics.
That they can. Just like their brighter, shinier cousins. Difference is, they don't last as long. After a couple of goes lighting your pipe, they crumble away to nothing. That's how I heard about them. From crystal traders moaning that someone's been flooding the market with dodgy goods. And after asking the right people the right questions, and paying the right price, of course, I managed to get my hands on a sample.
I see why you're perturbed.
I hope. Do you feel that, Clive?
Yes.
All right, lads, that'll do for today. I said that'll do for today.
Yes, Chief. Yes, Chief.
Let's get this lot back to town, fill our purses and then our bellies. What did you two do now?
Please tell us you bought another lantern.
Stay calm, both of you. Who needs a lantern when you've got one of these?
OBS seems to be lagging here. I'm not sure why.
All that work for a single spark. Well, there'll be no more sampling the merchandise today.
That sounded close, Chief. Really close. Really, really close.
Now, lads, what am I always telling you? Good things come to those who run.
Wait for us, Chief!
Well, that's rather creepy looking. And if these lag hiccups keep on going, then I might end up switching my encoder from NVENC to X264 on OBS, switch from encoding from my GPU to my CPU, see if that fixes it. I would have to restart stream though.
I've never felt a tremor this far inland before.
Me neither. But then I'd never seen skies like these till a few moons ago, and it's been all change ever since. Come to think of it, the first anyone ever heard of these dust crystals was after you lot came back from the Dominion and brought this bloody weather with you.
Do you think the two things are connected?
Who knows? Could just be that with Drake's tail gone, the black market was running short of the good stuff. The Dominion's mines were the only source of new shards left in Storm after a certain evil outlaw decided to do away with the other mothers. And with the price of decent crystals going through the roof, traders turn to dealing in stuff they'd never have touched before.
The question is, who's selling these crystals and where are they? Wait. This color. They couldn't be from Origin, could they? No, that wouldn't make sense. I saw it form in the sky, and that was long after we returned from the Dominion. But if they didn't come from Origin or any of the other mother crystals, then... does that mean...
that you missed one? Aye. That were my thinking, any road. Another mother crystal we didn't know about.
I'll speak with Joshua. If you're right about this, we need to find it.
And quick, I'd say. On account of which, I'll take this shard over to Tomes for you. Get him to give it a once-over, case it rings any bells.
Right. Thank you.
And I expect you'll be wanting Jill's help with this too.
Right again. I will. Let me go and find Joshua, and we'll meet you in the shelves.
Oh, there's a new tune for the DLC one. Quest accepted, Echoes of the Fallen. So there's a new DLC Mother Crystal to take out. A Crystal Darkly Trophy earned. Chasing the Echoes. Quest destinations for Echoes of the Fallen are indicated with the purple thing. After accepting the quest, current objectives are displayed in the to-do list on the right-hand side of the screen. These will temporarily replace main scenario objectives. Prioritizing the Echoes. If you wish to restore main scenario objectives to the to-do list, you can do so on the Journal tab in the main menu. Okay, gotcha. And I appreciate the bit there, GMK. I know I had the alert box off when that was happening there. But yeah, no problem. Good to catch you. It's been a while. How's it going? It's going pretty alright here. Got like an hour to chill here before I head to sleep for work tomorrow. Past 2 months been busy, but doing alright yourself. Okay, that's good to hear. I've been doing alright. I've been away for a little bit. So I haven't exactly streamed for a little while until yesterday, because I just got back home again yesterday. Was out of town spending some time at the family's lake cabin and had a decent bit of a chill time over there. Had some good holidays. Time spent
Joshua,
with my family.
we need to talk.
I wanted to finish some stuff
Aaron's
off here
caught wind of
before
something that I don't think we can afford
before
to
the new
ignore.
year, and I didn't have enough time. I'm almost done with this game. I just have basically the final boss and DLC, so I'm starting the DLC now.
Aye, that is troubling. Not least because the Undying made no mention of these dusk crystals in any of their recent reports.
So they weren't aware of them either.
Perhaps. Or perhaps they merely deemed them unworthy of my attention. Wrongly, I might add, for I am inclined to share Lady Karen's misgivings.
Then we'd better take her advice and consult Hippocrates forthwith.
To the shelves, then. With our combined insight, I'm sure we'll discern something of use, be it no more than a place to start.
Let's hope so.
So I guess fade through black and then I'm over there? Rather than needing to walk over? Yep. What do you know?
There you are. I've taken the liberty of telling these two everything I told you.
Thank you, Karen.
It's hard to believe such a lusterless shard could conjure much of anything. And you truly think this came from a mother crystal? One we never knew existed?
Every other shard in the Twins did. Why should these dusk crystals be any different? Dim though they may be.
We know they first appeared on the black market shortly after Ultima Car's primogenesis, darkening the skies. So might the two be connected? Could the spell have created a new mother crystal, perhaps? A replacement for the ones we destroyed?
What do you think, Hippocrates?
I think there may well be a connection. Yet, if we are to believe that the original mother crystals were of Ultima's making, does it seem likely that he would have need of anything so palpably inferior? No. I hazard that it was not Ultima who created these crystals, but humanity. More specifically, our fallen forebears, whose wonders litter the land even now. Legend holds that the fallen challenged the gods in order to win their power, and came tantalizingly close to doing so. It seems only reasonable that they should wish to learn the secrets of the crystals which the gods bestowed upon them.
So they could make their own.
Precisely. You may recall that the tale of the sins of Zemeckis begins with the colloquy of the sages, a council wherein humanity sought to uncover the last secrets of the gods before waging their war to learn what little remained. It is perfectly possible that an understanding of how to craft crystals was among their many achievements.
Among their many achievements prior to their fall.
Indeed. The same enlightened souls forged great and terrible weapons called the iconoclasts, from which icons derived their name, and turned them against each other in the Magitech War. A pointless conflict which served only to make its victors more confident of their right to supplant the gods on high. And when at last they ventured to do so, the resultant imbalance in the ether is said to have been so great that the skies themselves turned black and began to boil. The first recorded Arcade sky, I suspect. Which brings us back to the matter at hand. It is my belief that these shards are the product of a long-slumbering Magitech mother crystal, stirred to life by a similar etheric upheaval to the one which accompanied its creator's fall.
There's only one way to know for sure. We track down whoever's selling them and find their source. Karen, where did you buy this one?
Down in Port Isolde when I was scratching around for supplies. Since the Imperials buggered off and took the tariffs with them, you can find all sorts of interesting stuff on the docks. Go and have a chat with the mercenaries guarding the gates. Your uncle's got some good lads there. You know when to keep a watchful eye and when to turn a blind one. Oh, and take the crystal with you. Might be your key to the underworld.
Thank you. I will.
Shall we then, brother?
I'm coming too. If there is another mother crystal out there and it's anything like the others, you'll need all the help you can get.
I was hoping you'd say that. One more time then. Together.
So we set out as a group yet again here. So, Dust Crystal, I got the thing where Bob. So this seems like a little bit of weird order of things to take at face value, where it's like I've done everything in the main story except for the final boss, then doing the DLC, and then the main game final boss. But canonically, that's apparently the order that it goes in, is what I heard. Which I presume means that this is one of those kinds of games where when you beat the final boss, it just puts you back to the point, like, before you face the final boss. Is what I presume here, so all the DLC stuff would have to canonically take place before then, I guess. So, I'm doing that now, and maybe by the time that I actually face the true final boss, then it'll be, like, super easy peasy, because I did all the DLC that released later. In the main game here, we end up going around the world and breaking all the mother crystals because they were, like, slowly killing the world and all that. And now, starting the DLC, it looks like there's another one that I didn't know about. Oh, and there's some other quests that I can accept from here really quickly. I might just do, and then they're in my inventory at least. I finished all the plus quests. There was only one last plus quest that I probably should have done way earlier on stream because it increased, like, the healing potency of my potions one final time, so... Yeah, that one of, like, the hunt board, of the... whatever the hunt board plus quest thing I needed to do there was. Yeah, that I probably should have done forever ago, because, yeah, the pluses are very, very important, as it turns out. In a mood. In case you haven't noticed, your poor hound spends all of his time of late on the rear deck whimpering like Gav in his cups. Something ain't right, and my gut tells me it's not to do with his supply of antelope bones. Okay, so the quest line continues with stuff with Torgal.
What is it this time, Torgal?
I think that's one of the ones I did while I was out of town. If memory serves. More than words. Let's see here. What other ones to read here of curiosity? The courage to fight. What happened in Eastpool with the Bears and the Guardians has been a long time coming, and I'm proud that it could finally happen here in Rosaria. The duchy of old may be no more, but Archduke Elwin's dream still burns in the hearts of many, and it is through victories such as these that fire will spread. This is only the beginning, Clive, but a fine beginning it is. Yeah, that was for rekindling the flame too, that I did while I was away. Is it just me, or is the audio delayed? No, I might just be losing my mind. I regret that both you and the lump had to get all tangled up in the wicked weave of my sordid past. Thanks to your meddling, I was finally able to put to rest matters that were left too long to fester. And with that finally done, might I Might be I can sit back and enjoy this new world of yours you're so keen on creating. One doesn't need a pair of eyes to see the good you've done. Yeah, I did the quest an eye for an eye, where old enemies of Cairns kind of came after a new day. Lubor, that was his name. This was the guy that turned out to be a bearer, and then like the town kind of started turning against him. I'm not so foolish to believe that a single shaming at the hands of the town urchins can dispel a lifetime of hatred built up in one's heart, just as a pot cannot be made clean by reminding it of its grime. It takes effort, persistence, and more often than not, a stiff brush and a bucket of lye. But more than that, it takes time. Fortunately, your courage and leadership has granted us just that. We must now decide whether to embrace it or waste it. I keep on thinking that I'm seeing like some sort of change on the screen to my left out of the corner of my eye, but what I think is it's just like the activity feed showing recent effects, recent events, that one bit that's continuing to rotate, and I keep on thinking like something new appeared, and I keep on wanting to look over at the stream manager and see what the new thing is. A wise man once said that the night is always darkest before dawn. It is a good thing, then, I count one who burns so bright amongst my friends. Lubor. Whole again. Clive, it occurs to me that a single word of thanks does not nearly suffice to express my gratitude for you reuniting me with From a Distance. Yeah, I did that one, actually on stream. The tome made me who I am today, and yet I thought that, should I ever set eyes upon it again, that those who took it from me had forever robbed me of a part of myself. But now that I am whole again, thanks to you, I regret that I can only fill in the gaps with your knowledge, and not the holes. I swear, there's like a thing appearing there, and then the moment I look over, it's gone. It can't just be like the bit animation. I might just be losing my mind. I regret that I can only fill in the gaps within your knowledge, and not the holes in your soul, for which reason I shall ever be in your debt. Making amends. Master Clive, I'm aware there are matters of much greater importance which demand your attention. Should you find yourself a moment, I bid you visit me in the shelves that I might ask a single favor concerning His Highness, Prince Dion. Sure, I'll accept the quest just so it's in my inventory, but I'm probably never doing it.
I wonder what this is about.
We might never find out. It is possible. Might not end up knowing. I'll accept all the things anyway. And yeah, that's the DLC one, so not gonna bother with that one yet. The greatest gift. It feels like a lifetime ago. It was a lifetime ago. That afternoon on Man's Hill was our very first adventure. But somehow I knew even then that it would not be our last. I will never forget that day, and the simple fact that you have not either fills my heart with a joy so fierce I cannot describe it. Since the moment we first met, you have always been an important part of me, the half that makes me whole. When times are darkest, you are my light. When I am lost, you are my guiding star. You are just what I need. You are all that I need. You are the greatest gift. Wow. Very flattering. Alright, well, let's see here. Make for Port Isolde. Yeah, so there's some stuff here that, I may as well progress when I'm, as I'm coming through here at some point, but, meh, not right now. Let's see, local map? Yeah, so just that fast travel point right there. Yeah, Echoes of the Fallen. Let's travel here, how about?